Well, let's head out to course. It is Kim Yo-ju on the approach from 102 meters out on this 341 meter par 4. While she landed on top of that crest, she will roll back down. The veteran of the LPGA started the day in a tie for second with Jae Jin. Bogeys at the second and the last, hole number 5. Has her 6 back of Chanana. She is the defending champion from 2020, also winning this event all the way back in 2014. Jae Jin, meanwhile, she started in second. That is where she remains, all alone, skying this approach. She should have enough. Oh, and she's going to roll it within a few centimeters. What a shot that was to set up a birdie to move her to 5 under par. Might this finally be the day that she is able to return to the win column? Chanana, it is fitting to see her poised for another title. Peng Min-ji, Park Hyung-kyung, the other members of the top 3 in the major statistical categories on the year already having collected major wins in 2021, with Park Hyung-kyung winning the 43rd KLPGA Championship presented by Chris F&C. Peng Min-ji, meanwhile, she took home the honors at the 35th Korea Women's Open Golf Championship towards the end of June. At the time, her 5th win of the calendar year. Here is Lee Jung-min chipping with her second. A little bit of a flop to get it started, and she will let the downhill elevation towards the pin take it most of the rest of the way. Still a little bit far out as she will be putting to save par. Peng Min-ji off to a good start up until this moment where she has found the sand from the tee. Towards the back right of the green. A decent out as she climbs out of the tall grass and the sand. While wasting no time, here is the par attempt for Lee Jung-min. Never moving as far to the left as she needed it to. So she will be dropping at least 1 stroke as Jae Jin taps in for her birdie at the 6th. The first of the day, 5 consecutive pars to start her round. Now 3 back with a 3 on number 6. The aforementioned Park Hyung-kyung not really in contention today, though able to roll in her first birdie since the second. She started with a double, birdie number 2, bogey number 3, and another circle on the scorecard at her latest hole. Chan In-ji, another past champion and LPGA regular. She is 2 over. As we take a look at what she has to offer for the first time on this Sunday, a very nice approach. Now Kim Yo-ju's birdie attempt at the 6th. Up the hill and started quite off to the left and grazing the inside edge of the cup. And that would have gone a long way to getting her back in the hunt. Going with the mint green long sleeve on this championship Sunday. The 20th event of the KLPGA season, with 12 more to go following the conclusion of this tournament. Kim So-yi, a birdie putt to get to 2 under. Rolled around the cup, and for a moment it looked like it might have just fallen back in. but it gets hung up and she has to settle for a par. Well, here is Chanana with her group mate birdieing here. A much tougher look for birdie. A valiant effort. She has some significant breathing room atop the leaderboard. She'll mark off, and with that par, should she get it to drop, she will carry a 3-stroke advantage to the 7th. And it is a bogey for Lee Jung-min. Erasing the gains she had made just one hole ago. And back down to where she had started the day.
Okay.
And the birdie is made. And the par is made, excuse me. Only one birdie here at 6. That came in the second round. Otherwise, for the other 3 trips.
Okay.
Same story for Kim Yeoju. Well, out of the sand and on the green, she still has a look at birdie. Pang Min-ji waits it well. A slight miss to the right and a tap-in par. All things considering, where she had delivered that tee shot to into the sand trap, par is not a bad score. Well, most of the heavy lifting was done on the approach shot. About 4.5 meters for a birdie for Chan In-ji. Well, some kind of insect wanted to go along for the ride, so she has to step out. Take 2. Well, that Sirksen ball just a hair away from falling. It will still be 2 over as she wastes a golden opportunity after a really nice approach, and will stay 1 over for the day heading to the next. Well, fresh off her birdie, Chae Hae-jin has the honors on this final par 3 of the back 9. 3 consecutive pars here, Thursday through Saturday. .170 meters. It is the longest par 3 on the course over that big pond, and Chae Hae-jin has landed to the left. She'll ride the embankment a little bit back towards center, but a long downhill putt if she wants to go consecutive birdies. Bounce back time for Lee Jung-min following that bogey. Starts it well with a nicely faded drive into the fairway. Chanana's turn. Trying to forget about the bogey she had here yesterday. 1 of 2 on the round. Well, she will certainly be taking that option well out of play. A tee shot that lands and rolls inside 1 meter. The 29-year-old is certainly heating up, tied for 8th last week, tied for 8th at the Hanwha Classic as well. She had to withdraw from the High One Resort Ladies Open, and prior to that, another top 10 finish and a tie for 9th at the Teunia. And the Olympian from 2020, the tournament in which she finished tied for 15th, is off to a better start on this par 3 7th. 2 holes further down on the course, Peng Min-ji. 137 meters. This is 7-iron territory. And that is a fortuitous roll away from the edge. Now Yu Jung-min's approach. 349 the distance on this par 4, and that is much more like it. She's great on 8. Pak Hyung-kyung has fallen short of the target area. She is either in the thick rough or further back towards the water into the sand. Back to 7, the first of the birdie putts. We begin with Chae Hae-jin. She gave herself a shot. Just not quite able to solve this 7th hole throughout the weekend. Here at Blackstone, in Icheon-shi, the field is playing the north course on their front 9 on the way out. They'll come back in on the west course. Kim Yo-ju, this time it's a miss to the inside. Stays at 2 under with that par. And now Chanana to get back to the score that she started the day from. And she is able to with a short birdie after such a wonderful tee shot. Back up to 4 shots clear, assuming Chae Hae-jin will be able to convert on this look at par, which she does. Top 2 on the leaderboard, Chanana, Chae Hae-jin, birdie and a par respectively as they make their way towards the 8th tee. And Pak Hyung-kyung did find the sand, and her out has gone right and continues to roll towards the center of the green. Well, she started her 2021 season on red-hot form, come back down to earth a little bit as we neared and now surpassed the midway point of the season. The week in and week out, one of the stars of this sport in this country is at least a consideration on Sunday. Full driver for Chanana, and again, she is so strong with that club. She rolls off the end of the fairway. Averaging 255 yards per drive. That is improving upon what is already one of the best clips on tour. Nearly 10 yards more on average than her season average mark. I think this one might be headed to the right. And it is indeed. She'll be fortunate if she was able to stay in the fairway. That slices a little bit. I caught it with the toe of the club face towards the heel. And the last to tee off, Kim Yo Ju. The fairway is open. And she's even come up short and left. So 3 misses from our featured group. Now Pak Young trying to salvage a par, and she's going to be able to do it. There is no one in the country who has more long-range putt makes than Pak Young. Another great effort to avoid dropping back down. Ji Hyun will be looking for a little long-range magic of her own. A tough pin location today. One of the several players in the field this weekend, sponsored by the KB Financial Group. Lee Jung-min. Birdie made. Walks that one in, so she's gone birdie, bogey, and another birdie here at the 8th. Pang Min-ji. It's 8.5 out. Not a high probability of success. A decent try to set up a 3-foot par. Well, let's assess the situation. Back at the 8th, and it's an arrival in the sand for Chae Hae-jin. Well, she's got to pick this one out cleanly, avoid the 2 bunkers just before the hole. You can see it's rather off to the left today on Sunday. 123 meters out from the sand, over the sand, and onto the green. And she will not be able to clear. I believe Kim Yo-ju might have found the bunker to the left as well. Chanana is definitely into the rough, and yes, 7th ranked golfer in the world, Kim Yo-ju, 20 meters closer to the pin. Well, she is able to find safety. .101 is the yardage. Chanana. The twirl's there. It's the way it departed the rough. It felt like it was making a beeline for the left side of the green, and that is where it does end up. So only Kim Yo-ju able to find the green in regulation. And Chanana on the penultimate hole of the back nine with a 4-stroke cushion over Chae-hye-ji. It's the final round. The KB Financial Group Star Championship from Blackstone Icheon. Well, here is Chae-hye-ji playing her third from the rough just beyond the sand. It looked like she was making a beeline for it once again. Chip on to give herself a very reasonable par putt. As we near the bottom of the clock, we're about 3 hours away from crowning a champion. There is certainly a favorite at the minute, but far from a sure thing. Chanana, the class of the field all weekend long, steady as she could possibly be. And that steadiness, that bit of calm has been what has been missing for Pak Young since she teed off for the first time on Thursday. Nearly double digits in terms of shots back of the leader. A little chip to get it in close for Chanana. We'll head all the way out to the 357-meter par 4 14th. That is where we rejoin Chanin-ji. The approach game has certainly been one of her strengths, not only this weekend, but throughout the calendar year, and that is another fine example of it. While sitting just below her in that stance, dipping towards the rough, and she picks it as cleanly as you possibly can. Inside of 6 meters. The look at birdie for Kim Yo-ju, just going to snap away to the right just before arriving at the hole. Lee Jung-min has selected her iron of choice. She'll need to blast this out of the rough on the way downhill towards the green at the 9th. 150 meters, will play a little bit shorter with that downhill. miss to the right, up on the hill. It's not the worst of lies as she has a clean look down back towards the green. The weight control is going to be the tricky part. Definitely can't hit that thin. Jean back at the 8th. Ooh, and she's missed a par putt from in close. Tee shot to the sand, an approach that came up short into the rough. This had been one of her favorite holes through the first 3 rounds, but it is a 5 here on Sunday. Well, it's an uphill putt for par, and if she's able to roll this in, the lead will be 5. Fired up as she watches that roll in. Jean stumbles a little bit. Something we have not seen much from Chanana this weekend. "16 birdies, nearly at the 63 hole mark. Just 6 bogeys for our leader. Pretty remarkable performance she is turning in. Channing G, you wouldn't be too far into left field to think she would be a favorite entering this event. Jungmin on the flop, bounces and nearly hits the pin, but rolls all the way to the other side of the green. Compounding mistakes with more mistakes, which is a dangerous recipe on any day, but especially in the final round. Still a lot of work to be done. Well, this approach found the back quarter of the green. Kim So-yi is going to have to start this. Well, she's got it a little bit straighter than the line may suggest, knowing she's going to catch the embankment and then it'll straighten out on its way towards the cup. Not a bad first putt. Well, it has been a while since I've personally seen such a massive lead nearly at the turn in the final round, especially of a major championship. Another rocket with the driver, this time safely into the fairway. It'll be a shame to not have her around when we head to the 21st event next week. It's been such a joy to watch her compete from Thursday. It's a great bubbly personality to have in the field. Also, just one of the purest swings I've ever seen. Looks good, sounds good for Jae Jean. A redemption hole she will be hoping for here at 9. Well, we're a little bit spoiled to have 2 majors in such a short window. After having to wait so long between the KLPGA and the Korea Women's Open Golf Championship. Seems like it was yesterday that we were at Jade Palace for the Hanwha Classic. Chanana is on red hot form, but I don't think we're gonna see a 19 under final like we saw from Lee Daeyeon when she won the Hanwha just 2 short weeks ago. Pang Minji, that is the event that she won back in June. Final round 70 was enough after a 64 in the 3rd round that weekend. She has gone from the side of the fairway back into the sand. Pak Young, slow and steady she was at the KLPGA. 69, 3 under, followed by a 70, another 69, and another 70 on her way to a 10 under round to defend her title at the KLPGA. It's the only event this year that she has won. Makes it back-to-back pars to finish this front 9. Now Lee Jung-min for another bogey. Want to wipe her memory clear here. And in the end, it's still don't think it would be unfair to Kim Yo-ju to admit she has seen her struggles to start this round. Only 3 of 6 fairways in regulation, 6 of 8 greens in regulation, and averaging 2 putts per hole. That is not going to be conducive any day for low scoring. Decent opportunity to end her front 9 on a high. She needs to set herself up well here. Well, she's going to get a very nice roll. Aiming towards the middle of the green. The depth was spot on. The line to get there pretty darn good as well. Chanana says, I'm not gonna let you one-up me here. Other side of the cup, but a similar short distance remaining. 25th and 7th ranked golfers in the world, those two, as they make their way down. Korea continues to just be a factory for the best women's golfers in the world. 5 of the top 16, including Peng Min-ji, Kim Yo-ju, and Park In-bi, all competing this weekend. Jae Hae-jin, okay, now they're just feeding off each other. That's encouraging signs as we near the turn. 3 great approach shots, 3 serious looks at birdie. Well, we are approaching the end of hour number 1, and it is the final hole of the back 9. Jae Hae-jin, she wants any chance to keep pace. Chanana, these are the kind of birdies she's going to have to make with just 10 holes to play and 5 shots to make up. It could begin here. On line, ooh. A lot of break to the left, especially at the end. Chance for birdie has slipped away. It is an even par 9-hole score of 36. Cannot believe that one snapped so quickly away from the cup. She had a few of those, the second and third rounds especially, that really stand out. Well, you don't want to jinx it, but to move this much clear, you would almost be able to hand the tournament to Chanana now. It is just short of the birdie. Well, good first effort from Peng Min-ji from quite some distance away. Well, the last birdie opportunity belongs to Kim Yo-ju. Each of the 3 will have to settle for par as a 2-over opening 9 of 38. Same score she had in the second round. Perhaps too little, too late for Lee Jung-min and the rest of the field, but she is off with a nice swing at 10. Interesting to see how much she comes up at the ball on the follow-through. Bends her knees even more, gets compact, and then just lifts up and through. Well, towards the end of her final round. Two holes further down, we find Chun-In-Ji.
Nice.
That's a nice putt.
Buddy.
The birdie finally comes after waiting since the 5th, and you could see her caddy celebrating with her. Well-deserved plaudits. Park Young-kyung trying to rip that out of the rough, and she's going to put it all the way off the back of the green next to her group mate, just a meter to the left from our vantage point. It's a tricky out from the rough, especially when you're gunning for the green a little bit short off the tee. Second shot for Lee Jung-min. Well, that'll be a better roll. See just how difficult it is to really go at that pin today. Located to the front right side near the rough and the water. It's the conservative approach. Well, it won't be quite as long of a wait as we saw on Friday. We had a lengthy fog delay, which meant that the groups that would come through would have about a 20-25 minute wait, and it really affected Chanana. She had bogeyed the 9th on that Friday. After the lengthy delay, she'd bogey again. Cat's still hanging out by the 10th tee. And here is Chanana. 5-shot cushion, 4 holes to slip up from and really still feel okay. And off to a great start, as you would expect. Long and accurate. Well, to say number 10 has been difficult this weekend would be a bit of an understatement. Still no birdies here today. We have the final group playing through it now. It really becomes a question of how much are you willing to risk that approach over the water. Is the chance at birdie worth the greater risk of a bogey or worse? So far the answer has been no. Choi Hae-jin will join Kim Yo-ju in the second cut. Lee Chanana finding the fairway in regulation as our featured group is underway on their back 9. Well, take tips or take notes if you want to pick up a couple of pointers from one of the best to do it in the country. We get a lot of really good stats and analysis on the holes where we're able to get some telemetry. I would be very curious to know what her club head speed is. Picture perfect. The swing. This particular one didn't come off for as she sent it into the second cut. A lot more hip movement in Chae Jin's swing. A little bit close to the toe, and hence why that was sent awry. And already with the last group teed off at 10, the cameras are getting put away. That's a great chip uphill. I don't know that there's anyone who's more of a threat with the short game from long range. Add in the putting as well for Pak Young-kyung. Makes for some serious and consistent highlight reel material. Still trying to claw her way back to even par, as is Oji Hyun. The slightest bit outside of 100 meters from the fairway. Lands with a thud and will roll into the fringe. Pang Min-ji just a little bit offline to the left, again playing her second from the rough, and unfortunately duplicating a mistake. She comes up short of the putting surface. Back to the green at 10, Lee Jung-min. Her look at birdie. How quickly it just lost all of its speed. The line was there.
네, 괜찮아요.
Still even, still 2 under. Final 8 holes still to come in her round. Imi Jung, and a disappointing weekend it has been for her. All the way down now to 8 over. She was 1 under after Thursday, in rounds of 76 and 76 on Friday and Saturday. It was her 72nd shot. She won this event back in 2019. Another win she added to her ever-growing list. The High One Resort Ladies Open. Held from the 19th to the 22nd of August. Kim Yo-ju having a rough go of it today. Off the tee, another shot she has to play from the rough. She's gonna go roll right through. Might have even popped out into the sand. Well, speaking of the bunker, 24 meters out. Well, it starts its way down the hill. Long look at par will be next for Pang Min-ji. low trajectory ball flight that skims the fringe and finish in the rough again for Che Hei-jin. Chanana's fairway iron shot. Set up decently well. There are many, many players in the field today who would absolutely take that approach at the 10th. Oh Ji-hyun, she is putting from the fringe. Uphill with a significant left to right break. And it's another par. It's a downhill right to left putt for Pung Min-ji.
Okay, that's it.
Something to build on. Well, only 5 players at 2 under or better, only 6 under par, including Pak Hyung-kyung. Pung Min-ji, with that par save, remains in 3rd position, the lowest score. Back out to the 10th, Che Hei-jin from the front left of the green, chipping back down towards the cup. About 3 meters off to the left. Lee Mi-jung trying to end the round, end the tournament on a high note. She might be able to take some comfort in knowing she won't be dropping another. Kim Yo-ju still unable to come to rest on the green as she's blown past the putting surface.
팀 뒤로는 계속 오르막.
Well, her second best round of the weekend, a disappointing one for Im Hee-jung, who finishes with a 73 at 8 under par. Chun In-ji gets at about 95% of the way there. Chanana, this is a look at birdie. 9 meters out, currently 9 under. Double digits under par has eluded her thus far, and she will have to wait at least one more hole to try and find it, as that putt comes up just a smidge short. Kyung at 11. 100 meters out from the fairway. That's going to be a great roll towards the cup. And how about holing out from the fairway? Park Hyung-kyung.
Yeah.
The human highlight reel does it again.
Wow. Wow.
What a shot, and wow is right. Take a bow, Park Hyung-kyung. I think that might even one up her putt from a kilometer out. That's how it felt on Thursday. Now Yu Jung-min, okay, no pressure. Let's have a repeat of that. That's the more predictable outcome. Well, we will certainly be seeing that later in the final round highlights. This is a par save now all of a sudden for Kim Yo-ju. It's weighted pretty well. Comes up short and a tap-in bogey. Not the way she wanted to start the back nine. Yeah, she's gonna have to seriously work on that divot. It's basically a crater with how heavy it landed. Yeah, enjoy that one. Who needs to worry about an eagle? Or a double bogey, excuse me, at the first when you can have an eagle like that. Well, all of a sudden, she's deep inside the top 5. Could watch that all day, and it wasn't even her own caddy that had the most vocal reaction. Chae Jin, if she doesn't convert on this par, she will drop down into a tie with Pang Min-ji and Park Hyung-kyung. A little bit left to right. She doesn't like it. Under hit, and it is a bogey as well. She has really struggled at 10 this weekend. 3 of the 4 trips through, she has finished with a 5. Now Yu Jung-min starting this to our left of the hole, watching it come back in, or at least that's where she needed to start it. Well, the par to stay at 9 under. The rest of the field falling away. So despite her still being even for the day, she is now 6 shots clear of her closest competitors. Well, the 11th hole on the west course. You can see just how significantly it moves to the left. Serious dogleg with a back left located pin today. Definitely one you want to try and find with how quickly it slopes away. Kim Yo-ju is the first to tee off. Well, it's another low flight, but this time she is able to find the fairway safely. Bunkers lining the left of that fairway. 6 of them on the left to be precise, and a big one off to the right as well. Grass bunkers around the green as well. Minji will head to the correct side of the green, 1 step below where she needs to arrive. Well, it's looking pretty good as well. Similar shot shape to that of Kim Yo-ju, just with an extra 15 or 20 yards on top of it. Jae Jin going with a slightly different strategy, a little bit more towards the center, keeping those sand traps out of play, as each of the 3 are away and in the fairway. Well, she would pretty much need to birdie every hole on the way in, despite now being in a tie for second. That, or she will need Chanana to seriously plateau. But after that remarkable eagle, she is inside of a tie for the top 2. Chen Ji teeing off the par 3 13th. Even par round in progress. Sung Ga-yoon, pretty good day for her at 2 under to get back inside the top 15. While looking up to the sky and trying to find some answers, Jae Jin. Yo-ju, excuse me. 97 meters out with 2 big sand traps trying to protect the green. She's gone over them. We'll get a pretty good roll towards the back as well. Safely onto the putting surface. Well, after a great drive left her with very little work to be had, she follows that up with an approach inside of 1.5 meters. Well, we rejoin our featured group on 11. Just short of the green was Jae Jin with her approach shot.
Okay, nice upload.
A good chip to set up a par putt. And really they're battling for classification purposes now. Barring some kind of a unbelievable fall from grace, this is Chanana's major.
감독님 조금만 옆으로 비켜주시면 안 될까요? 감사합니다.
Another hole, and another par to carry that 3-under score over to the next for Pang Min-ji. Kim Yo-ju just can't seem to catch a break here today. Still in the quest for her first birdie of the day. It's another par. And it was all pars for her at the 11th this week. Chanin-ji at 13. A long-range try that rolls within 4 feet.
나이스
With
버디.
every hole and every made putt, she takes another step closer. Now 10 under. Chanana.
오케이, 나이스
Short par
파.
made for Chae-Hee-jin. Rebound from her bogey at the last. Young. Her approach at 12, 149 meters down the hill towards the green. Bounces off the front edge and will roll all the way up to that left cut of the green before it narrows towards the back. Next up will be Lee Jung-min. Here is your look ahead to the 12th hole. The 5th par 4 in a row. What a gorgeous view they have. Quite the panorama from the tee blocks. The sand isn't a factor. At the beginning of the fairway, it certainly becomes one towards the end with 3 bunkers to the left. And the bunker down a little bit of a step off the right side of the green. The pin all the way at the back today. Up on a ridge guarded by a downslope on either side to its left and to its right.
왼쪽으로 갈게요. 가자! 뛰어라!
Just keeps on rolling down the hill, off to the left. Another good drive for Chanana. Seriously in pole position, 7 shots clear. Pang Min-ji, Park Hyung-kyung, and Chae-Hee-jin. Good start to the hole for Kim Yo-ju. The only player at 1 under, and just one of 6 players who are under par. Each of the three are away. The body language just isn't super positive right now from Che Hei-jin, despite a very good drive. Start of the day 5 back, 7 back now. She has dropped 1 and Chanana has picked a shot up. Left a little bit to be desired, Lee Jung-min, from that chip from the fringe. Front right is the pin today here. But middle left is where Peng Min-ji ends up. Park Hyung-kyung from the rough to the left of the green, and she's just going to have enough weight on that chip to roll it through the fringe. Degrees, partly cloudy, no rain about either. Four hours away from sunset.
Oh,
2 hours remaining in the event. She had to work for that par.
그러면 술로 보여요? 응. 튀기고.
저도 좀 너무 한컵 확실하게 넘어올 때 이렇게 하고 넘어.
Well, apologies to your ears. One of the caddies inadvertently set the bag down either on top or right beside one of our course level effects mics. Lee Jung-min, an uphill putt to save par and to stay at 2 under. It's outside of the comfort zone.
Hey.
She does very well there to roll it in. "16 meters out. Peng Min-ji as she looks for birdie. Well, you can't fault her for being aggressive. We'll mark off and get mentally ready for that par putt coming up next. Excuse me, will be first to play. does Ju have in store? That's going to get a nice roll beyond the fringe, although considering where she ended up, she may have preferred to be able to chip that with her next if she was going to be that short. Jean bouncing over the mound and coming up wide of the green. .124 for Chanana. She's dialed in with a twirl like that, and there's the evidence to back it up. Will roll just onto the fringe, but that is still a short putt for birdie in her Sunday red, and nobody can keep pace with her. All smiles in that duo. In cruise control. Every shot, every hole they complete, they get one step closer. ENG starts to straighten out towards the end. Runs out of power. It will be a two-putt kind of hole for ENG. Minji. Well, she misses out on the par at the par 3. Tap in bogey. 3 birdies on the day, now 2 bogeys as well in just 1 under par. The course seemingly getting the better of everyone but the 29-year-old. That is a very good attempt. Good bit of short game work. Jean. And ENG rolls in a bogey putt, down to 2 over she goes. An up and down kind of day for her. Buckingham teeing off at the 13th. Nestled in to the left side. Don't put the birdie beyond her. So even for someone with seemingly a limitless range, would be a tough ask. 2-putt par seems reasonable. Min is also going off to the left, and gets stuck in the rough just before the sand and the green. Ju running all the way 24.1 meters back of the pin.
Okay.
Pretty good try. Short downhill putt will remain for par. She has spent 36 consecutive weeks inside the top 10 of the Rolex rankings. Committed to the KLPGA back in the year 2012. One win on the season. The HSBC Women's World Championship tournament she won with a 17 under tournament score back in April. It was her 17th career win, her 4th on the LPGA Tour.
아이씨, 걸렸어.
A little bit short for Chanana. Most circumstances that would be a bit frustrating, but when you're up
공이야.
by 7 strokes, you can live with those. She took last year off amidst the uncertainty and just general upside down feeling of the world during the peak of the COVID pandemic. Made her triumphant return to the LPGA Tour. Now making a pretty triumphant return to the LPGA of Korea as well. Rolls in that par to stay at 1 under. Well, here is the flop from Lee Jung-min. About a 10-footer. That will be her look at par. And the par is what Jae Hye-jin trying to convert on. Nice and in close. She makes no mistake. Off to the par 3 at 3 under. Minji from the fairway at 14. Well, that ball doesn't get on the brakes in time. You could see it was a bit of a tailwind as well, just adding a little bit more carry to it on top of already deep approach shot. Well, a birdie here yesterday to end the round. Bagin B, 5 over for the day so far on her final hole of the tournament, where she sits at 10 over par. Working back from the left side of the green to the right and rolling beyond the target by about a meter. Ju trying to stay cool as she waits for the green to open up. We'll back to the 13th momentarily, but first, here is the putt from the fringe for Pungmin Ji. Centimeters shy.
Okay.
Well, she seems pretty much locked into that range of 1 to 3 under. The home stretch now here on Sunday. Buggy will not be able to make it consecutive birdies on 18 to finish the round. Another one of those players that it was just a genuine treat to have join us this weekend. Not the results she would have wanted to post, but she is into the clubhouse. Down 12 spots from where she started the day. Finalizing a round of 10 over par 10. Tournament, excuse me, score of 10 over par 5 over on this fourth and final round. Ji Hyun's reaction summarizes that quite well. Seemingly stuck at that invisible barrier at 1 over. Well, I'm not trying to be hyperbolic when I say there only seems to be one person on course right now. Just picking up birdies and just avoiding tough 2 or 3 putt scenarios. It's the third bogey now for Lee Jung-min. And to 16, Jae Reem. Our first check-in with her on the day. Anybody has come closer. Park Ji-young at winning that Maserati prize for a hole-in-one today. It's not in the hole, but it is very close to it. Should be a birdie here at the 16th. This the par save from just off the fringe for Park Hyung-kyung. Well, against her best efforts, that one does stay out. A little bit of ground lost in the leaderboard. So we're tied for third now with Pungmin Ji. Now our featured group can begin. The 21st and final group who had teed off at the first hole at 10:50 local time today. slide down the left side. Owen is going to continue to cascade like the water over the cliff at the waterfall just beyond the 9th green. Well, that's as close to as an aggressive at the pin kind of tee shot we have seen over the past 2 hours here at number 13. The result is nearly the same anyways. Another visceral example of how difficult this hole is playing today.
5번 우린 상대 잘 나오니까 5번 치면 될 것 같은데.
Well, this hole has not been kind to Jae-Jin. The bogeys here on Friday and Saturday both. Par on Thursday. Some insects buzzing around her were enough to throw her off her rhythm. Get lined up once more. She joins Chanana off to the left, pretty close to the correct depth. They will make their way down the hill towards that 13th green. Meanwhile, on the 14th tee, Park Hyun-gun, she's birdied here 2 of the 3 times she has played this hole. Well, as the clock changes to 3 p.m. local time, 3 under par. Jae-Jin is the closest score to Chanana's tournament leading 10 under par. We will be right back to the Blackstone. While the supporters continue to hang out and enjoy the tournament with us, albeit in virtual fashion, as we welcome you to hour number 3 of our coverage of the final round of the KB Financial Group Star Championship. To everyone joining us for the English commentary, we appreciate your viewership. My name is Adam Jenkins. Kim Yo-ju, her first putt a long way from the other side of the green, back into par range. Well, on the final par 3 of the back 9, we find Hung Ji-yeon. The first birdie of the round comes on the 3rd final hole. 4 bogeys and a double bogey. A sputtering finish that will certainly help lift her spirits. Chanana doesn't need much to lift her spirits. She knows she's about an hour and change away from winning another major title. Well, that is the confidence and the execution of a soon-to-be deserving champion. We'll mark off before a simple tap-in par. Here's J.A. Ream after a great approach. It's about 4 feet out, and the birdie is made. Tip of the cap for her second of the back 9, third of the round. Off to the penultimate tee. Here's Chen from the sand. Will just roll beyond the fringe. Jean, a long second shot, first putt for her. Another one that comes up tight to the hole. On to 14 with Pak Young. She's 107 meters out, playing from the second cut. That has stayed left, which is the side of the green she needs to be. Just roll and rebound from the back of the putting surface off the fringe, and she will be putting for birdie next. Love the par putts for this trio. This is certainly the toughest. Some serious left to right break as she moves back up the hill. Even more than she had accounted for. Four bogeys on the day now. She has fallen back down to even par. G can't capitalize either. Three over with 3 holes to play. Just a little tap from Jean is all it will take. 6-foot par attempt. Off the flag stick and in. Well, that clears the green for Chanana. The short uphill putt to carry this 10 underscore over to the 14th. And another step closer. Pak Young on the back edge. And back up the hill. Tailing off to the left. Just about 10 centimeters shy, and a tap-in finish for a par at 14. G playing her third shot on the par 5. Arrives at the green in regulation. Kim So-yi. Uphill to start and then back down on the path towards the cup. And it comes back down well. It's a great putt. Her first birdie of the round as well comes at 14. Kime Reem. This birdie would take her up to 3 over. It's a frustrating way to end. Up 4 spots. 1 over for the day. A tournament score of 292 and finishes at the moment in a tie for 12th. Lee Jung-min to get one of those dropped shots back. You've already seen the flight. Quickly up and then back down, and luckily, and well earned for Lee Jung-min, it is able to go. Even par is a good score here today. And that is what she maintains. Off to the 15th. Second to last par 4. Just 5 holes remain. Down a little valley separating the first 2 fairways, with the bunker off to the right. 2 sand traps along the left on the way up the hill towards the green. And once that green has been reached, you are going all but 8 yards to the back of it and 5 yards from the left, which is where we find the pin today. Ju is 4 over for her round. As her back down to even par as the number of players under par continues to dwindle. Now just 5 of them. Not quite enough from Chan Ning-ji to roll up over that final step up towards the back half of the green as Chanana gets set to tee off. A little bit of a different swing path here, but won't take her off the fairway. She's found another one. There hasn't been many faults in her game. Driving today, definitely not one of them, if you could even spot one. Jean's turn. left. If anything, it's a little bit right. Bless you, Chanana. Well, give her credit for holding in that sneeze until Jean had teed off. Hyun, a very good first putt. Subtracting most of the distance between her and the hole. We'll look over the lake. Great shot of that defensive bunker. Here is Peng Min-ji. $10 out. Start left to right. And come back to the left at the end. Jean's second. 103 over the sand. And the greens in regulation have been something of her undoing today. That is not to be the case here. Though she does get stuck in that valley between the two sides of the green, the front and the back. Comes to rest about 11 meters away. Kim Yoo-ju, 12th in the LPGA money list this year. 815,000 American dollars collected thus far, 14 in the LPGA points in their race to the CME. This is her 13th event of the calendar year. She's finished in the top 4. This will be the 5th time, assuming this result holds. Chanana is dialed in. She'll hope to dial in this approach. 86 meters away. She's going to get that to stop up in a hurry. Of everyone on course, she's not the one who needs the birdies, but she has set herself up very well for another opportunity to collect one. When your form is hot, it is hot. Nothing to cool Chanana off. And a smile and a thumbs up. With each shot, she gets one step closer to a major championship, a big payday, and the prestige that comes with taking home the title in this event, the 16th playing of this major championship. Park Young off to the right side of this very long fairway. And back with Oh-ji Hyun trying to save par at the 15th. A little tap to get it started, and that par is salvaged. practice swings before she plays her 5th shot here at 15.
Okay, good putt.
Only one bogey separating a long run of pars. Back out to the green with our featured group. Here is Jean. Online, just slightly overcooked. Settles in just in behind the hole. It's a tap-in par for her. Meanwhile, on 15, the 2nd shot. Fairway wood in hand as Park Hyung-kyung plays a low shot over the mound and running it through the fairway to set up her approach onto the green at the 15th. Kim Yo-ju, this would be a well-earned birdie. Today has been the weakest of her rounds. She just cannot seem to catch a break.
넘어가도 될 것 같아. 응.
She will have to settle for a par once again. Chun-In-ji on the final par 3 of the day. She found the front half of the green when she needed the back. Still a very good try at the birdie. Par to keep her at 3 over. A slight left to right uphill putt for birdie. Move her to 11 under for the tournament. Rather, it certainly looked left to right from this angle from in behind the green. In fact, the break went the opposite way. Still only the one bogey on the round that came at the very first hole. She's settled in ever since. So 3 pars from every member of group number 21. They'll be teeing off at the 15th momentarily. Three birdies today at 15, 20 bogeys or worse. After a penalty picked up along the way for Lee Jung-min, she is still well shy of the green through 4 strokes. Local time in Chun Shi. 20th event of 32 this 2021 LPGA Tour of Korea season. It's 138 on the approach for Pak Hyung-kyung. She's going to be headed all the way for the back. Settles into the fringe. Chanana will be the first to tee off on the first of 2 par 5s. On this home stretch, we have reached the final 4 holes, and she has a 7-shot advantage. Birdie here yesterday.
왼쪽으로 가요, 오빠.
In the grand scheme of things, she may come up a little bit shy of her prototypical round here through the first 3 days of 69, 3 under. Would be more than enough to finish even.
네.
Jae-Jean down to the right side of the fairway and rolling down the hill to sit up nicely after a well-struck tee shot. Here is Oh Ji-hyun at 16. Yet to solve this hole and record a birdie. Closer to that mark yesterday with a par. Such a fine line you have to walk. Depending on where you land that tee shot, you're either heading back down towards the front, or you're gonna get a bounce that will take you all the way to the back edge, as was just on display. G 12 of 15 greens in regulation, 10 of 12 fairways in regulation, 0.73 putts per hole throughout this final round Sunday. She will roll and sit above the hole. Jungmin is her 4th shot, excuse me, of the par 5. From the fairway onto the fringe on the left side of the green. From the fairway, advancing down and stopping shy of the water hazard. Ju had found a patch of rough, and she might have found another. Definitely using every meter of available fairway that time. That's Jae-Jean. almost parallel with Chanana. Oh, Jihyun from off the back at 16. Putting back uphill. There in 1 would be great. There in 2 would be more than reasonable. Park Hyung-kyung on 15. Well, another very nice putt as she had read that line well. Short par attempt is next. Bang Min-ji. Here is her birdie try at 16. Centimeters away. And another tap in par. Still at 1 under for the day. And Lee Jung-min now playing her 5th. Well, the weight control seems great. Gave herself a serious shout for that birdie. Short par for Ur Ji-hyun is made. Even to start the day, 1 over for the round. Now to finish this hole off with a bogey. Catches enough of the inside on a well-weighted putt. At this point, she's destined to follow that up with a birdie. That's just how her pattern has gone today. Short and simple look at par as well for Park Hyung-kyung. And a successful putt. Jae Reem chipping at 18. She's 12 meters back. And delivers herself an opportunity to finish the tournament with a par. The lengthy par save at 17 for Janin Ji that comes up centimeters shy. A frustrating drop once more. 3 bogeys in the last 4 holes and down to 4 over par. Well, that miss will sting. Course has got the better. Well over 100 players this week. It's been quite the feat to finish under par. And a bogey after 2 consecutive birdies. Her 72 round score will be 3 over par. Park Hyun-kyung. Her turn to tee off at 16. It's going to get a pretty good roll and will stay up top. Well, the first of 3 approach shots over the water, hopefully over the sand. Close enough to bring birdie into the picture. Jae-Jean will begin. She's improved her greens in regulation round over round. 14 on Thursday, 15 on Friday, 16 yesterday. Finished in a tie for 7th at this tournament last year with Chanana. Well, she's clear of the obstacles. It's 2-putt territory for the 22-year-old. Points leader in 2018, 19, and 20. The 2019 money leader as well. The 1.2 billion won collected, more than the entire purse of this event she won in the year 2019. Chanana played that aggressively, and on the run of form she's on, you can't falter for it. It's just Kim Yo-ju had the shortest distance remaining when she is playing from the rough. Looking across the water, she can see the sand reflecting. Another one of a handful of waterfalls here, just to the right center of your picture. Deeper and further back than Jae-Jean. Everyone is dry, most importantly. Pang Min-ji now at 17. Her approach into the green. Takes quite the hop. And will come to rest in the fringe.
Okay.
사람 걸 거면 그냥 해도 돼. 전혀 안 걸려. 너 오히려 너 괜히 걸려서 옮겨달라고 하지.
Here is Lee Jung-min, just in front of the fringe at the back of the 16th green. Curling away to the right. Decent weight.
힘을 타는데
2 holes to play, still hanging on to an under par score, but only just. From a ways away from the pin, that is not a bad try. Chehejin.
다 올라가서는 터지는 라인이었거든.
Park Young, excuse me, this is the look at birdie. Haven't seen too many of those from players not named Chanana, though we did see an eagle earlier from Park Young. Close but no cigar. 2 under with 2 to play. Now Chanana, just over a foot shy. Minji, a birdie look from the fringe at the 17th. She too will just run out of speed at the end of that putt. Well, that's a rare miss from Chanana.
뭐냐?
A little bit overpowered as she falls out of the double digits.
깜짝 놀랐네.
And again, you can laugh when you bogey, when that bogey still has you 6 clear of the rest of the field. Par for Chehejin. Par save attempt as well for Peng Min-ji. This her try on the 17th. She's missed. Missed to the inside. So bogey for her as well. That drops her down to 1 under. Bogey's at 13 and 17. She has just 1 hole remaining now. Well, if you're not going to win the major championship, why not win a Maserati? Not a bad consolation prize. Down to the final 3 holes. Chehejin, who has parred every hole since her bogey at the 10th, tees off first. The back and to the left of the green. the 15 greens in regulation thus far, 5 fairways missed, 1.72 putts per hole. Hybrid was the club that Kim Yo-ju pulled out of the bag. Perhaps it was just a very, very low iron. Correction, the way it sounded, the way it appeared, I would swear it would have been a hybrid club. Ultimately, hybrid or iron, there was too much of it. Birdie here in round 3 yesterday. Bouncing off the green and onto the fringe. All 3, a little bit too much power. $355 this par 4 17th, a triple bogey yesterday for Lee Jung-min. It was the last thing we saw before we went off the air, and it was almost unfathomable. She just hangs on to the end of the green wave zone. Spotlight back on Chan In-ji. Her third shot at the par 5 18th. Bouncing out of the rough and getting a nice roll. We'll come back a little bit as well. You can hear the applause from the players who finished their round and are camped out just behind the green to watch this finish. Well, as close to the action as they can get. The video board just in behind the green here at 16. Chae-Hee-Jean chipping from the rough. That has played very well off the fringe. Slowing it up at just the right time before the cup. Kim Yo-ju has told Chanana that she's good to go next. And while she sets up, let's head out to 17 with Park Young-kyung. That is another really nice approach. Not quite eagle accuracy, but not far from it. Now Chanana is putting from the fringe. On its way back to the right, and that's a really good try. All the pressure is off. She is still even through the day. 3 straight rounds of 69 has her just 2 holes away from the title. Lee Jung-min now in the back of the green zone, looking at it from the tee box, just at the circled border, a little bit overhit. She is hanging on to a 1 under score and a tie with Pang Min-ji. Im Genie won earlier in the year, 5 over for the tournament. That's a nice bounce out of the rough and in close. Ju's turn. We've seen her pseudo putt with the wedge a couple of times this weekend. That is a good result. On to the 17th. Opportunity, another dropped shot for Jae Jin. That brings her back down to 2 under par. 2 over for the day. Now, Chen Ji can end the tournament with the birdie. Just played a little bit to the inside of the cup, so she will quickly reset, tap in, and finish with a par. 4 over for the former champion of this tournament. Final round of 75. Well, here is Lee Jung-min at the back of the 17th. Strikes that really well. Starts to turn in at the end. That's a great putt.
네, 뭐라 편하게 하셔도 돼요. 안 밟아요.
73 holes down. 1 to go. Still in a pretty comfortable spot in a tie for 4th. William Genie in with the 39, 3 over. Even par. Front 9 of 36. Kim So-yi also playing from the fringe. This looks pretty well weighted as well.
Oh!
That reaction says it all. Kim So-yi 1 over as she heads to the last. Let's head to the 17th tee. Driver out of the bag once again. She will need it again on 18. It is a 355 meter par 4 that Chanana has parred each and every time she's played it this week. Well, another good rip.
Nice
Park
birdie.
Young gets another stroke back. That gives her sole possession of second place with just one hole remaining. Another great approach. That is the secret. 2-putt is average on a tough course on a good day, but certainly not an exception to that rule here today. Well, in and out of the rough in the blink of an eye. Minjee first third to set up the final approach onto the green. Well, if she wants to get back to level footing with Park Young, it's going to be quite the long putt to do so. Couple of bunkers on either side of the green, but it is a pretty clear look and a pretty straight shot for Kim Yo-ju. Having some reservations. One last quick chat about the plan of attack. The green clear, it is the green light. Rolls almost perfectly in line with the cup. She'll be putting back towards the center as she looks for her par. Chae Hee-jin missed off to the left. There she is on the right of your screen in the rough. I'd say all in all, it's a pretty good week. A pretty good final grouping for the Lottie Corporation. You got two Lottie sponsored athletes, Chae Hee-jin and Kim Yo-ju, and you have the winner, the Lottie Open in Chanana. 123 rough, 2-pin. Takes a big bounce and will roll to the border of the rough and the fringe, off to the right of the green. And from almost the exact center of the fairway, it is Chanana's turn. Driving both of her group mates by 18 meters. And the closest to the cup. Feels like 7 shots or less away. All that remains in her day. Park Young tees off for the final time. 18th hole, 511 meters, over half a kilometer long. Off to a good start. When you pick up the tee, you don't need to look to see where the ball lands. You know you've struck it well. Her birdie at the 17th has her in sole possession of second. Sole possession of third belongs to Chae Hee-jin. Peng Minji, Lee Jung-min tied for 4th at 1 under par. EA1, who's finishing her round now, has reached 18. We will see her finish on the other side of a quick break. We're in the home stretch now. It's an understatement. Peng Minji, birdie attempt that misses to the left. She will have a tap-in par to finish under par for the event. As it stands, one of just 5 players to do so. Back to the 17th. This would be the birdie try for Chae Hae-jin from the fringe just before the rough. Well, you know, she has all the tools. We've seen it so many times the past few years. Thought this might be the event where it starts to come closer together. In contention, buzzing around the top of the leaderboard, but just not able to put the full package together. Chae Hae-jin. Quick reset and the final putt of the round for Oh Ji-hyun. All pars since the 6th hole. She finishes 1 over at the KB Financial Group Star Championship. Kim Yo-ju. Just doesn't seem to be in the cards today. That birdie that has long eluded her. 2 bogeys on the back, 2 bogeys on the front, 1 hole to play, and still at even. And the final putt for Peng Minji. And nail down that 1 under score. Podium was always in the cards, especially after those 3 birdies early in the round. She was never really quite up to the standard to try and reel in Chanana, but another good week, another good finish for the 7-time champion this season. Champion of the first major, Pak Young advancing down nicely. Her approach to the green will be next. Time to rattle in a couple of putts and head to the 18th. Well, she's got her double digits back under par. Third birdie of the round. First time all week she was able to card a 3 at this 17th. Short left to right putt. That shocking fashion comes up short. Now she has descended to the 1 under mark of Peng Minji and Lee Jung-min. She's finished the event. She's had to withdraw a couple of times due to injury. She's only finished outside the top 10 twice. tied for 17th at the Tabo House Tee, tied for 16th at the Ever College and Queen's Crown. Every other tournament, without fail, firmly in contention. What an end to the year she had last year as well, winning the SK Networks Sogyung Ladies Classic, runner-up at the Hana Financial Group Championship, tied for third at the SK Telecom ADT Caps Championship, and picked up right where she left off early in the year. Back-to-back runner-up finishes, had to withdraw from the first major of the year, and never really slowed down. There have been 11 birdies at 18 today, no eagles. Would be a fun exclamation mark, but she wants to finish on a high. Still practicing her drive mechanics, how quickly she rotates, how much power she puts on. This is a pretty cool look up the hill at the tee blocks. Here we go, the final hole for the final group. Shana now first to play.
아, 다행이다.
She knows it. She's known it for quite some time. We've known it for quite some time. If anything, a chance to celebrate one of the best performances in recent memory for the 29-year-old.
오케이.
Kim Yo-ju off to a good start as well. She deserves a birdie here to finish under par. And now the last tee shot of the event will belong to Chae Hae-jin. Well, 3 shots into the fairway, and they are on the walk down. And we'll head further down on this 18th. We'll watch the finish for Park Young and her group as they snake their way down the hill. Third shot for Park Young. One shot clear of Chae Hae-jin now. Well, should be there in 2 putts. And unless Chae Hae-jin birdies to split the purse, it is going to be 132 million won. The prize money for the runner-up. Lee Jung-min. That's a pretty good touch. Zips back. Could it set up a birdie to move her to 2 under? So Yi, 4th shot, 16 meters out. a bad approach either. A tight little grouping with the second to last group. Teed off at 10:39 a.m. this morning.
19조 선수들을 소개해드리겠습니다.
Here they are.
올 시즌 메이저 대회
Announced onto the
KLPGA
green.
챔피언십에서 우승하며
In the meantime, here's some of the best, most lighthearted, and our favorite snaps from our on-course photographer. Really good illustration of what is truly a Korean characteristic, the terrain. Week in, week out, we are at just an unbelievable venue, and the hills and the fairways especially are characteristic of this tour. Pangmin-ji, he's trying to keep Chanana at bay in the money list. She's got a pretty good opportunity to hold it out, though. Chanana's going to take a big step forward. Well, we'll get to the second shots in a moment. We'll let this group finish off first. Mere inches shy of the birdie for Park Young-young. And yes, she will finish out. 72-72, even par to make the cut. A 70 and then a 71. 3 under is where she finishes. That is the second best mark, only trailing Chanana. Kim Yo-ju has the wood in hand. 251 meters remaining. A routine, but well executed second shot. Only 234 after a really nicely hit drive. Jae-Jin. She too finds the final patch of fairway. It'll go down as one of her better finishes of the year as well. To the left side of the fairway, but in the fairway.
가볍게 치려고 했는데 예전에 싱가포르에서 우승할 때
Well, we won't be able to spin this around the 90 degrees. But we will still be able to get a slow-mo look at the swing. The swing of a champion. Well, it'll be consecutive podium finishes for Jae-Jin if she can finish off the according to plan. After missing the cut at the KLPGA Championship. Tied for 13th the last two majors. She has really stepped up her game.
걸어가는 시간을 지금 탈것 같은데.
So Yi, final round of 76 to finish 2 over.
근데 많아 보이진 않아.
Finishes in 8th position, a top 10 finish and well deserved. Put the pressure on Jean, but it would move her for the time to sole possession of the podium finish in 3rd, and that's a very nice putt to end it. And even Parday, every time she bogeyed, she had a birdie to follow it. A little bit delayed for the last one, but she got there in the end. Applauded by the fans watching virtually as well. I tell you, it is such an interesting sight to see someone this relaxed, this comfortable, and this aware that they are going to win a major. The walk down 18 Sunday of a major championship is usually a stressful one because you know that there's no margin for error. There is a big margin for error for Chanana. She will be the winner. Jean, here is her approach. Oh, and nearly holing out. Well, what that means is second place is confirmed. Sole second for Pak Young. That is a lovely approach. She would be very unfortunate to have this birdie elude her after a very nice approach. Now Chanana, the last to do it. We'll go for a ride and head back towards the front on that downslope.
챔피언조 선수들을 소개해드리겠습니다.
And here are the introductions to the green. Well, once the final putts are made, the celebrations will begin. We will stay with you, as always, through the post-round interview as well as the awards presentation. Final round highlights as well. So despite there only being likely 3, a maximum of 6 putts to be had, we're not going off the air for a little bit yet. So stay with us. We appreciate your viewership as we always do. Such a delight to be able to broadcast this tour to you in English, allowing a larger audience to see some of the best in the world, one of the best tours in the world. Duke it out week in and week out, especially a celebration for a major here on the LPGA Tour of Korea, and what a treat it was as well to have 3 of the top 50 golfers in the world in the featured and final group today. 25th in the Rolex rankings was Chananada's start. 19th was her highest mark of the year. 25th was the highest mark of the year for Jae Jin, who was down to 42nd, but will continue to make some ground back up. And as mentioned earlier, 36 consecutive weeks in the top 10. Kim Yo-ju starting in 7th, as high as 5 this year. Well, it would be fitting. One final birdie for Chanana. It's just a little bit short, and she will be smiling for hours to come. She will mark off, allow her group mates to finish. The spotlight, rightfully so, will shine solely on her. This is an expensive putt either way. Jae Jin a birdie to finish in a tie for 3rd with Lee Jung-min. Missed to the inside. So she will share the spoils with Pang Min-ji and perhaps Yo-ju as well, should she convert on her birdie putt. She has been so close so many times. A strong round, a great weekend. She can cap it off with a birdie. Oh no. As fate would have it, she will not be able to finish under par, but a strong showing. 6th at the KB Financial Group Star Championship for Kim Yo-ju. And Chanana is about to win for the 19th time in her professional career. Her first win came back in 2012. Most prolific season in 2013. A win in 2020. And now seconds away from her second win in the year 2021. Tap in for Jae Jin for a final round score of 287. Finishes 1 shot under par. And a tie for 4th with Pang Min-ji. The winner of the Lottie Open. She can add a major championship to her resume here today. The winner of the KB Financial Group Star Championship, Chanana. 10 under par, 7 shots clear.
야, 짜가. 오, 야, 오랜만 아니야 이거? 감사합니다. 오빠 이거 지금? 야, 차이 오빠. 오, 차가. 고마워. 귀여워. 그렇게 패딩을 찢을 거 누구야? 나한테. 뭔데?
Well, how many times in her illustrious career have we seen that? 2 arms raised in celebration. The cream of the crop, and it wasn't even close. The winner for the second time this season. The winner of the 16th playing of this tournament. She joins Imuna, inaugural winner in 2006, Chu Young Nan, Shin Jie, Sohee Kyung, Ibo Mi, Yang Hyung, and winning again nearly a decade since she captured this title back in 2012.
마스크 있어요? 추워. 와, 얘들이
Only the third player. The other 2 repeat winners were also in the field. Kim Ae-rim, Kim Yo-ju.
추워. 추워. 땡큐. 혜진아 부를게. 543 453 354 544 344 345
Lee So-mi have
45.
won more than one event this season.
643 454 244 434 346 335.
While the scorecards are being signed, the paperwork is being made official. Pretty remarkable that the 2 best rounds of the 2 top finishers were just 1 under par. That's how tough this course was playing today. Chanana really had to work for it. She laid the groundwork with 3 consecutive rounds of 69 and just finalized it. Played well, didn't make any mistakes, attacked the pins when it was necessary, played conservative when it was called for, and all in, just a fantastic weekend from Thursday to Sunday. Let's get to the highlights before. Quick change of plans, but we're always up for an audible here. We begin on the 6th hole. This was a little bit before we came on the air on the English side of things. Peng Min-ji, a very nice birdie. A tricky break, and at that point for her, 3 birdies after a stumble with a bogey to start the round. Jae Jin going pin seeking, rolling it centimeters away from an eagle. Well, and speaking of eagles, we saw one of those, and I'm sure that clip is coming up very soon. You remember the one I'm talking about. But first, Chanana, she too had bogeyed the first hole. Still a comfortable lead at this point. Stuck in close that approach. A simple birdie. That was the first of the round. And on it, Park Young, watch this curl all the way in. Moved her to 1 under par. That wasn't the last of her upward trajectory. Here she is again, 100 meters from the fairway. Watch this on a loop. It will never get old.
Wow! Wow! Bravo! Yeah.
A 100-meter eagle from the fairway. The shot of the day, bar none. And then at 11, with 2 sand traps guarding the green, Chanana goes over top of them. And again, a shot that is just a meter away.
나이스
Tap
버디.
in birdie. Nice birdie is right. 10 under at that point. Birdies at 7 and 11. We'll go now to the 17th, Pak Young. Up that little rise towards the cup. This would be the putt to take her to 3 under. Tournament score of 285. She would go on to par the 18th. One last birdie, one last fist pump from Chanana. And then it was methodical on the final hole. Credit where credit is due as well to Lee Jung-min. Birdie putt moved her clear of Jae Jin and Peng Min-ji for 3rd spot in the leaderboard. Just the tap in to make it official. The winner at 10 under par, 29 years of age, winning for the first time here at the KB Financial Group Star Championship since she was just a 20-year-old. Well, yes, 2 fingers in the air, peace, love, and the unofficial signature from the champion once again here at the KB Financial Group Star Championship. This is where we will say goodbye to Blackstone Lee Chun. What a fantastic host it has been, and what a fantastic event put on by the organizers and, of course, our broadcast crew, bringing this event to you. We will do it all over again beginning on Friday at Silk River. But for now, on behalf of everyone here at the LPGA Tour of Korea, I've been Adam Jenkins saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week as the LPGA Tour of Korea 2021 season rolls along.